Hello, welcome back to The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 7, 20 Easter Eggs and Hidden Details. The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7 delivers one of the show's biggest episodes to date, providing plenty of hidden details and Star Wars Easter eggs. Warning, spoilers ahead, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. With tons of Easter eggs, references, and secret elements relevant to the larger Star Wars universe, The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7 delivers an earth-shattering episode for the Mando universe. One of the most narratively dense episodes of The Mandalorian to date follows the rather contentious Chapter 22, Guns for Hire in Season 3. The movie begins with Bo-Katan Kryze, played by Katee Sackhoff, successfully combining the many Mandalorian factions and sending them on a quest to recapture Mandalore. Now that the actual scope of the Imperial menace has been revealed, it is obvious that The Mandalorian Season 3 will have profound effects on the whole galaxy. With a planet-hopping episode filled with passion, The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7, sets up all this and more. Naturally, Chapter 23, The Spies, is rife with Easter eggs and Star Wars allusions. 1. The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 7, confirms Elia Kane's Empire loyalty. Elia Kane, played by Katie O'Brien, was reintroduced in The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 3, and The Spies supports a theory about her character that was made in the previous episode. Despite leaving her precise allegiances ambiguous, Kane erased Dr. Pershing's memory at the end of Episode 3 after setting him up to be arrested by the New Republic. The return of a well-known Mandalorian foe in The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7, ultimately reveals to whom Kane reports. 2. Giancarlo Esposito's Moff Gideon returns to The Mandalorian via Imperial probe droid. Giancarlo Esposito's Moff Gideon makes his long-awaited comeback in The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 7. Gideon's return is a very satisfying story point of The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7, after he inexplicably disappeared from the season owing to his captivity by the New Republic in the season's finale. The first scene takes place on Coruscant, when Kane encounters an Imperial probe droid in a shadowy passageway. Star Wars Rebels revealed the Imperial probe droids were useful for espionage. Therefore, this is a logical continuation of that because they were introduced in The Empire Strikes Back as reconnaissance units. In this instance, Kane can speak with Moff Gideon, her handler, thanks to the probe droid. 3. Gideon's base features a vast cloning facility. The action then moves to Moff Gideon's hiding place. He walks by what appear to be cloning facilities. However, it is initially unclear where these might be. The presence of test subjects in several vats suggests that Gideon's as yet unknown plans are still in effect in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. 4. The Imperial remnants wish to recover Pershing's work. Gideon is shown in The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 7, attending a gathering of several Imperial commanders. Gideon is questioned about Dr. Pershing and whether it is feasible to salvage his work during the conference. According to Gideon, Pershing was taken by the New Republic, and his work is currently lost. This is an intriguing turn of events because it is obvious that Gideon has different goals than the other Imperial officials after being directly responsible for Pershing's abduction and the destruction of his work through Elias Kane. 5. Grand Admiral Thrawn's Star Wars setup begins. Grand Admiral Thrawn, portrayed by Lars Mikkelsen, made a long-awaited appearance at Star Wars Celebration 2023, and The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7, clearly teases his impending return. The Grand Admiral Thrawn's return is imminent, according to Captain Pellaeon, who was present at the Imperial gathering. It is stated that Thrawn will rebuild the Empire's military power, enabling Commandant Hux to focus on Project Necromancer. This foreshadows Thrawn's appearance in Ahsoka and other series set in the Mandalorian universe. 6. Gilad Pellaeon makes his Star Wars canon live-action debut. Gilad Pellaeon, as previously stated, was portrayed by Xander Berkeley, and he is a significant character from Star Wars Legends. Although he was intended to serve as the Watson to Thrawn's Holmes, author Timothy Zahn's creation turned out to be a significant Imperial leader in his own right. He actually assumed command of the Imperial remnant and led them in the conflict with extragalactic invaders known as the Yuuzhan Vong. In Disney canon as well, Captain Pellaeon appears to be Thrawn's right-hand man. 7. Brendol Hux is working on Project Necromancer. Brendol Hux, portrayed by Brian Gleason, is one of the other Imperial leaders present during the meeting. Brendol Hux, a central village in the Star Wars sequel trilogy played by Domhnall Gleeson, is the father of Armitage Hux, a character first introduced in Chuck Wendig's Aftermath trilogy. Hux is reportedly gathering military supplies and working on Project Necromancer, according to The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 7. This is odd given that Hux and the First Order were not aware of the Emperor's resurrection in Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. It is likely connected to the plan to clone the Emperor Palpatine and bring him back to life. Whatever the case, it is obvious that Project Necromancer will be crucial to the future of Star Wars, whether through connections to the sequel trilogy or the Mandalorian universe's grand finale. 8. The Imperial Shadow Council proves the Empire's resurgence is at hand. The Mandalorian has a tendency to minimize the influence of the Imperials, even referring to them as remnants and warlords. Season 3, Episode 7 of The Mandalorian confirms that the Imperials are still collaborating, allowing the New Republic to undervalue them. This is a blatant setup for Lucasfilm's long-term objectives for this period. 9. Moff Gideon requests Praetorian Guards as protection. Gideon's request during the Imperial Shadow Council led to one amusing Easter egg. In order to provide security for Gideon's objectives and his conflict with the Mandalorians, he asked for 3 Praetorian Guards. The Emperor and Supreme Leader Snoke are both protected by the Praetorian Guards in the original Star Wars trilogy and the sequel trilogy. Gideon's request for 3 guards demonstrates that he requires top security since he anticipates being attacked in reprisal for his plans. 10. IG-11 is reborn as IG-12 in The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7. Many people believe that a key story point from The Mandalorian Season 3 premiere had been forgotten, but it was ultimately resolved in Episode 7. Din tried to restart IG-11 in Episode 1 so he could use it to explore Mandalore. Din decided to add R5-D4 to his team after learning that IG would require a new memory circuit. However, the Anzellan droidsmiths reveal that IG-11 has been brought back online, albeit without a memory circuit as IG-12, when Mando returns to Navarro. The components of IG-11 have been put together to create what is essentially a mechanical suit. In Grief Karga's office, the Anzellan droidsmith pilots the exoskeleton after the High Magistrate suggests Grogu use it. Then Grogu puts on the outfit and starts operating it. 11. The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7 reunites Grogu and the Anzellan. There's another amusing nod back to The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 1, with Grogu visibly excited to see him. The Anzellan, for his part, still insists Grogu is a bad baby. It's a great moment, setting up a lot of humor in this particular part of Episode 7. 12. The Mandalorian features a Star Wars Rebels callback with a Mela run. When Mando and Grogu depart from Navarro's city, we see another entertaining Star Wars Easter egg. Grogu uses his new exoskeleton in a naughty manner to steal food as the two pass past a stall. A Mela, a fruit that was widely depicted and discussed in Star Wars Rebels, is one of the items Grogu purchases. 13. Axe-Woves was on Mandalore during the Great Purge. The Children of the Watch and the Mandalorian faction of Axe-Woves combine, giving more information about each underground movement. Axe-Wove says that he was on Mandalore during the Purge before falling to the planet's surface. Concordia, where the majority of the Children of the Watch were concealed, provides a tragic window into the other side of Mandalorians and the horrors they endured. 14. The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7 introduces new Mandalorian actors. Bo-Katan and Din's scouting expedition comes into contact with Mandalorians who have been surviving on the planet's surface after exploring Mandalore. Charles Parnell and Charles Baker play the first 2 characters in the story. The Last Ship, Top Gun, Maverick, and All My Children are where Parnell is best recognized for his acting. Skinny Pete was Baker's most well-known character in the television shows Breaking Bad and El Camino. The survivors decide to travel to Mandalore's Great Forge with Bo-Katan's squad. 15. The Mandalorian sail barge is a reference to Alan Dean Foster's Ice Rigger. The dangerous wastelands of Mandalore are traversed by the new Mandalorian characters in a barge. The barge resembles a vehicle from Alan Dean Foster's book Ice Rigger in terms of both design and intended use. This Easter egg has many implications because Splinter of the Mind's Eye, the first book in the original Star Wars extended universe, was also ghostwritten by Alan Dean Foster, who also penned the novelization of the first Star Wars movie. 16. Bo-Katan reveals what happened on the Night of 1,000 Tears. The Empire's obliteration of Mandalore during the Night of 1,000 Years has been a mystery. The conclusion is finally revealed by Bo-Katan in The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 7. In order to preserve Mandalore, she gave herself over to Moff Gideon, she says, but she was betrayed. Gideon took the Darksaber and destroyed the planet nonetheless. Please share your thoughts about the episode in the comments. We would love to hear them. We would